In today's video, I'm going to look at the dollar. Pretty much what I've been suggesting or predicting that is going to happen is happening. This bounce out of this daily cycle was not able to make a higher high, and it's now made a lower low. That's a failed daily cycle. So we've got a pattern of lower highs and lower lows. That almost always indicates that the intermediate cycle is now in decline. So my prediction has always been, I think maybe I noted this in another video, that the dollar was in this, what looked to me like some kind of a triangle consolidation after the major collapse off this semi-parabolic top, sort of almost a bubble top, I would say. And then we've got this long sideways consolidation, but my expectation has always been that the break would be to the downside. Most triangles break on the flat side of the triangle. In this case, the flat side is the downside. And we got confirmation today that this daily cycle has rolled over and is left translating. Now, that doesn't mean the dollar can't bounce here. I'm sure it'll bounce at some point. But the odds are now heavily in favor that the dollar is in decline again, and that it's eventually going to come down, tag this support zone here, and then break that support zone. And that would give us another failed intermediate cycle, and maybe we get a bloodbath phase when this support right here breaks. So what could happen? Let me erase these. All right, so this is my best guess is what's probably going to play out. We may get a bounce in here somewhere, but generally speaking, I think this daily cycle is probably headed down to test this support, and that would be a prime spot for a bounce out of another daily cycle low, something similar to what happened here. But then I would assume that bounce would also left translate, just like this one has, come down and ultimately break below this support zone right here. And then we get another daily cycle low, another bounce. This bounce maybe comes up to test that support from underneath, and then we get the final move down into the next intermediate cycle low. So a potential target for the intermediate cycle low would be right around this 98 level. This is where the 200-week moving average is. And let me convert this chart. All right, so here's the 200-week moving average. Pretty sure we're going to get an intermediate degree bounce off of that level, which would be, again, something that looks like this. You know, that rallies for maybe 5 to 8 weeks and then rolls over and starts down again, and we break below that, because I'm pretty sure the dollar has entered a secular bear market. This has all of the earmarks of a parabolic semi-bubble structure that has popped and is now in decline. We've got the 3-year cycle low is going to be coming due somewhere out here in spring to early fall of next year. So I think the decline that started right here is going to continue into 2024. But for this intermediate cycle anyway, we're 13 weeks into it this week. Generally speaking, I would expect an intermediate decline to last 20 to 25 weeks. So we've probably got 9 to maybe 12 more weeks to go before this bottoms. And the bottom, like I said, I think the intermediate bottom is probably going to occur on some kind of tag of this 200-week moving average. So the implications, of course, are that it's going to be extremely difficult to impossible for the banking cartel to keep gold suppressed now that the dollar has started or has confirmed that it's in the declining phase of its intermediate cycle, and probably will be for another 10 to 12 weeks. So you know, you've got maybe a week or so left before I close down the SMT to new subscribers. So if you want to get on board and ride the move in gold as it comes out of its intermediate cycle low, then this is probably your last chance here in the next week or so. So once I get confirmation that the bottom is in, then I'm going to turn off the subscriptions for the SMT until we get into the next intermediate cycle decline in gold.